it. What? Wow, weekly already printed two? No way. Daily hasn't printed three yet. So we are on daily wave three up as long as this really ideally when let's look at naked chart. Yes. So this is weekly. Weekly is fine. So this 54.25 and quarter is not last week, the week before 50%. So because last week have two down, so if we have weekly breakout near 55.28, then our first upside target is 57.76. So that's where I'm really looking at it. Um, Look at daily. So daily, we have been having higher lows. And this candle really, that's 10%. Not quite, I think it was 7, 8%. It's very hard to break out this one. I think it's have to be gradually repair this area and then before going higher. So eventually, I still think if we get out this 55.28, there's really not much going on until 56.50. So eventually, I would like to see 57.76 to 5800. That's what I'm hoping for. Trump does have policy coming out on Monday for semis. So tomorrow morning, first thing, if the market gain hold, we're going to take profit on those. And so this is SPX. Those are all in weekly newsletter. I'm just repeating myself. So you have week high, week low. Clearly, this past 50% previous weekly candle. So that's why I give T1, T2. T1 is near 5,700 for SPX. And ideally, I really want to see 57.85, but that may be too much to ask. We start to take profit T1 and remaining. But however, if you look at weekly, I'm hopeful on weekly. The dropping momentum is slowing down, and then MACD cross over to the upside, even though you see people say, okay, we have that cross here, like 100 and 250 and 200 are crossover to the downside. So anyways, and then we do have daily, SPY daily, BLW green. When this happens, it will last a little bit, right? So I'm thinking at least to somewhere 565, I want to say, ideally 575. That's the daily wave two. So I'm assuming we won't pass the daily wave two. So most likely will be 573-ish, maybe, or even 567. I'll be pretty happy on SPY. So when market hit this level, and if you have position green, I spoke to a couple students over the weekend, and they're riding an AVGO Tesla like a roller coaster. It went to 550 and didn't take profit. I wrote it down. Please don't be greedy. When Tesla hit 550, I would be all out. And AVGO, everything now, if we have really high yield, stay longer. Let's look at the yield. This is something I am much more worried about than tariff. So this is our signature, right? MACD crossover to the upside. This is weekly chart you're looking at. And I'm seeing upside target at 5.35 to 5.4. I mean, do you realize that how bad that is? That's really bad. Everything Fed has done, it didn't mean anything because the highest we went, it was only 5. Think about we're going to 5.5. I don't know. I think that's really put where the weekly, yeah, weekly breakout from here. And so now I'm seeing 5.35 to point 0.5. That's like, I don't think people can buy houses. And that's why I'm saying there is much lower to come. And so weekly, you already saw, right? On weekly, you already saw wave two already printed in the way. So we do need to finish daily first and then come back down. So if you do have profit, please take some profit and reserve some cash. And when we did calls from here to here, my account went up huge. And I'm sure your account went up pretty nice too. So that's where we really make money. So I was going to, when daily wave three done, we started putting hedge. Like even if you just put $2,000, let's say 5,400 put a week or two out, it can make you $20,000, $40,000, and that's part of the hedge, right? So I'm really, and I listened to that guy, Sam Carson. I don't know whether I pronounce his name right. The interview that I shared in our chat channel, he had similar view. He's thinking we are going to have 35-40% drop. So it's going to be gradual. He believes we're not going to have a all-time high anytime soon. I'm not sure I agree with that because this clearly monthly still showing us would go. So as long as it doesn't drop below, um, I would say like 4,600 area. I can confidently say that we are going to be fine. But if we drop below 4,200 here, then there's really no support, guys, until 3,750. Okay, so we always prepare for the worst case scenario mentally, and then we handle it, right? So wave three down clearly will be lower than this. I'm thinking somewhere 4,600. So on SPX here, really have to look at monthly chart. Let's look at weekly. So wave three down could be somewhere either 4,750 or there's really no support until 4,600. So so there, very, very likely. So when that happens, you need to have cash. You need to have cash to buy, right? And so the leap calls, either you do SPY, QQQ, it's not going to be straight line down, right? Give us 10% pop. You go to long call SXL or shares, you could still make a really good money. And I just gave you XLP, XLU, right? XLP utility, they are going to go higher. See that weekly? It's going to go to 86. Let's look at daily. Daily, we won, probably have a little bit pullback, somewhere 77, and then go long. PG or MO, KO, right? XOU, Utility, it's always like a defensive 1, 2, so going higher, right? Let's look at XLV. XLV is up so much already, our like United Healthcare. I'm all out already. So this one, it doesn't look that bullish, but UNH in particular and HUM, the two tickers I did and I shared. So this, I warned you guys, gonna come back down here. It actually went lower and I missed here. So I jumped in near 460, I think. And it went to last weekly market review was at Thursday. I said this could go to 610, 605. It went to 610. So wave 4, I don't think you're gonna drop too much. If 530 come to 530, you want to grab some shares, that might not be a bad idea. And so I added somewhere here and went to 5. That's like 30% gain, right? And then part of the like diversification, right? So either you have a high interest rate or whatever the tariff, like insurance is not impacted by tariff, right? And interest rate doesn't really impact tariff insurance much too. Regardless what you do, you have to have insurance, either like United Healthcare or State Farm, like car insurance, property insurance, like Allstate, this kind of stuff. If you don't want to exit all your shares, and you want to add a little bit hedge, diversification. I just gave you the idea, right? What you want to do. I'm not sure bonds is a good idea at this point because usually the company retirement money, they always have like 60/40. But in this case, 60/40 it's not gonna save you, right? So if this gonna go to 5.5%, TLT probably gonna drop to 75 or lower. So that's not gonna save your portfolio. You could also do a little bit of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin, it hit my downside just like one needle and then went up. So this is not impacted by tariff nor interest rate much. So if you want to have a little bit of vacation using coin or something, that could be okay too. So anyways, let's look at all the sectors. So the sectors like XLU, XLP, XLRE are not bad. Finances, JP Morgan earning been up a lot, and I was gonna go long on Goldman Sachs, but then I saw the put flow. I'm like, maybe not. And energy is at a good place too. If you want to buy some refineries, could be a good place to go long as a little bit. Uh, Really XLC, right? I'm gonna go back to my weekly newsletter. So Monday, first thing, if the gain holds, we are gonna take profit before Trump talking. And so we're not gonna give back anything. Um, Microsoft has gone up a lot. I think Microsoft, all this earnings, Netflix earning next week, and have a lot of bearish flow, a lot of bearish flow. So I mean, I thought about it, and I was talking to my husband and even say, I mean, how do they grow? How do they grow new subscribers? And so you see 1, 2, 3 down, right? Hourly time frame. I think the earning most likely may be dropping. I don't have any position in Netflix right now. Um, if it really dropped that much, that's 200 point, more than, no, 150 point. That's 920, 770. That's 150 points. You can double buy. Double buy or probably double put one long. like depending on what your bias is. So this could play out if you want to play it. I don't think I want to do anything with it until I just want to, for me, I just want to have a cash. I have 40% cash on the side. And after if this daily wave five played out, I'm probably going to have at least 50% cash. And if that's the case, if really weekly drop to 4,600, then I'm like, I'm gonna load calls, right? So weekly, this one SPX hasn't printed, ES did. And SPY also didn't print it. So we still have a little bit room to the upside for now. And things can change. I mean, if really financial market having crisis, I think Jay Paul, I don't want to be Jay Paul. He's really in the bad place right now. If he prints money, it's gonna be inflationary. If he doesn't print money, it's not hedge fund blow up. The problem you say, okay, why do we have to pay the price if they are so greedy, having leverage like 60 times of leverage? I agree with you. But it's the bank who lend the money will go down, right? So who are those banks? JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, all those stuff. So Fed's central bank, they are not gonna let their bank going bust. So either way, I don't know what the cure is. Every day I spend time thinking about those kind of things. And Lynn Alden is one of my favorite person. I think she's extremely smart and macro view on economy is always spot on. And listening to her interview, I also shared in our Discord. She said the reason why we have a trade deficit is because our dollar is dominant in trading system, right? And because people want to invest money in US market, and as a consequence, we have trade deficit. But if you want to weaken your dollar and you don't want to trade deficit, money flow out to other market. And that's exactly what we saw, right? So China was up, dollar was getting weaker, all the global market has been going higher and ours dropping, right? So that's exactly what her interview was about. And she's also warning us about the liquidity issue. So anyway, long story short, after the SPY or ES print daily wave 5, we are going to take profit. No. Scared me a little bit. So after we got this done, and then we're going to take some profit on the long and reserve some cash. And if really ES dropped all the way to 4,500, you load calls, leap calls, very low risk, high reward, either QQQ, SOXL. I like SOXL, and I just said limit buying order. I literally set limit buying order at 5. I even put like 5.7. I have 16 cents higher than this, like 10,000 shares. I have the limit all set already. And then if XOXL hit this level, we can, that's deja vu, right? We can do SOXL call again. That would make us quite a good money. You just put like $10,000 into that call on monthly or quarterly, like 3 months out, like 30 cents or 50 cents, that can give you 20 times of the money. So 20,000 will become, 400,000. So if you last run, if you did smart, your account could literally tripled from the years. If last run, if you're smart, just XOXO itself, you could have tripled and 5 times of your account with very, very low risk, right? So when SOXL hit here, we went long, and that's give you 50% gain. And then we went long again, it gave you more than 50% gain from 760 to 13. That's like $6, right? $6, five some, that's almost 70% gain. 50 plus 70, that's shares. But this call 30 cents went to $4. That's what 1,000% gain. If you put $20,000 in there, that's how much you can do the math yourself. And this round is from about $1 to $6. So that's how you make money, right? So for me, day-to-day trading, okay, because I lead the Discord, so I share the trades. Myself, I have like 5, 10 contracts. So I'm in there and pay attention. But when things like this happen, you do 200 contracts. That's how you make the money, right? Now we know what to do this round. TQQQ too, right? So the last round I said I'm only going to focus on SOXL, TQQQ, SPX, NDS. And that's exactly what I did. So TQQQ 35 to 47. That's a 30% gain. And then 37 to 53. That's 50% gain, guys. That's when you really high. The day that I bought, I had $6 left in my RIA account. I literally load 100%. Everything I had went in. That's when you really make money, right? So when really SPX gave us another, say, 4,600, and then you load SOXL calls or TQQQ calls or SPY, QQQ, whatever the instrument you feel comfortable. That's when you have large position on. We're not blindly going long, right? We went long when we see reversal up, right? When we see signs of stop bleeding and then reversal go long. And we didn't do zero DTE. We didn't do weekly. We did, I think it was August, the first round. And then the second round was May, June, or also August. I don't remember. So anyways, so in summary, if you want to have some diversification, XLP, it will be our choices. XLP, PG, KO, MO, those kind of tickers, and XOU to SO, SONEE, those kind of tickers, right? And if you don't want it, it's fine too. But during this part, you need to take profit and free up some cash. Don't ride roller coaster. This market is so volatile. Like when you have some position green, take some profit, free up some cash, and then when market when they print a wave 5 on the daily app, we are gonna buy some puts. So if you buy a month out, let's say SPX weekly already like daily. See this thing, see how challenged this riding this wave is. This is telling us to go to 4,700, even though ES clearly tell you something different, right? Because SPX doesn't have evening sessions, and that's why the wave difference. Let's say we always follow the ES. Let's say we follow ES. Coming to here, really take some profit, free some cash, and then when it at low, we're gonna load heavy again, and we'll ride to the upside, right? Okay, so that's all I'm having. And if you want to learn, go back to the weekly newsletter. Even I wrote it. I went back to read 2 times to back testing everything I projected in the weekly newsletter. it was true, became true. And downside, I said there's no strong support until 4,800. We hit 4,800. AMD, SOXL, all the downside, NVIDIA hit the downside and even drop more after. And then I said we'll go up. What position we're gonna do on long, and those delivered very nicely too. So now after up 10%, we need to be cautious. The position we loaded from the low, we need to manage closely because this yield thing, it really make me very unsettled. This is much more dangerous than the tariff. Okay, guys, that's all I have. And I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.